Hey you guys, I'm Draya King. Welcome to Podcast King, hosted by me. And today, my guest is the beautiful, my friend, Torquita.
Hey boo, thank you so much for having me on today. I'm so excited to
Thank
kiki
you for
with
joining me.
you.
I'm here again. Okay, so today, how are you feeling? Are you feeling more like Dakota or are you feeling like Torquita?
Ooh, I think I'm feeling like Dakota today because she's so sexy.
Ooh. Okay, I know that's right. Well, how are you feeling today, first of all?
I'm feeling so good, honestly. I just got back from Mexico. I'm, back in LA. And it's always fun when you get back home from LA because it's like, oh, Cali living, like, oh, West Coast vibes, palm trees. So, I've only been back home for 2 days. So it's like that sweet period, like, LA.
That refreshing comeback.
Yeah.
Okay, period. How was Mexico?
It was so fun. For the first time, I went into like the wine country of Mexico. It's called Guadalupe, and they call it like the Napa Valley of Mexico. So I got to see a lot of vineyards and shit, drink a lot of wine. It was a good ass time. It was so fun.
I know that's right. Just to give you guys a little backstory, Torquita and I met earlier this year. You were a part of the Porn Hoodies fashion show.
She helped me work the runway, y'all.
Yes. Shout out to Malcolm.
Period.
So ever since then, we've worked together continuously. You even came through to my birthday party.
Yes, turn up.
Okay,
turn up.
So, and I honestly love your work. I love the art you create. I love your photographs. And every photographer that you work with really captures you in a very fluorescent like vibe.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I do agree, the photographers that I work with, they do capture me quite well. I'm very grateful for that aspect. It's good to work with people who know what they're doing. No, it is. It's a blessing.
Mind you, it almost feels like a privilege.
It does. Definitely, like, photography and modeling is definitely a two-way street. The photographer needs to know what they're doing, and the model needs to know what they're doing as well.
Because it's really not just about having a camera or a pretty face.
No, there's a lot more that goes into it.
It's almost like compatibility in a sense.
Yeah, like you're not going to get along with every photographer, and I think every photographer can say they're not going to get along with every model. Everyone's different.
Yeah, even like creative differences also.
Yeah, yes, most definitely. And like body types and just somebody's vibe, their essence, it all goes into it, and like a photographer's vibe and essence as well.
Yes, so for people who are tuning in right now and are waiting to hear exactly what do you do.
I model, if you haven't figured it out by now.
So give us a rundown on what fine arts modeling means to you. Okay. And I actually, when you put me on to that specific terminology for it, I fell in love because I'm just like, that is such like a classy ass way to put on a sexy ass job.
You're so funny. Well, everyone, I am a fine art model. And basically what a fine art model is, I like to think of Roman and Greek statues, just those ones that are like, little clothes, very naked, or like cherub angels. And yeah, that's kind of what fine art modeling is to me. It's just artistic expression of like using your body as the instrument, like as the art, and conveying, whatever message or whatever vibe you want to give using your body. I like it. I was like actually reading another art model's bio the other day, and she was like, my choice of instrument is like my body. And I was like, I feel that, girl. Okay. Like, yes, like you're just using your body as an artistic expression. It's really cool.
Move to the sound of your own drum, okay?
Yes.
I know that's right.
It's so fun.
How did you become a fine arts model? Like, how did you get introduced to that field?
Well, when I moved to LA, I was very poor, like many of us. And a lot of my friends were like, you should model. And they're like, I remember I had one friend, her name was Cal, and she was like, this is LA. You can do anything you want in LA. She was like, I have this one friend, she's a DJ now because she just went to this party and played her playlist and they paid her to be a DJ. And I was like, oh, damn. And she was just like, you should model, dude, you should model. So I had some other friends who were already models, and they just took me to a shoot, and the rest is history. I got paid, and I was like, you can make money from this. Okay. And yeah, I just started. That was a really like condensed version of it, but, if you will.
You summed it up well.
Yeah, a little summary of it. But yeah, and I just started modeling. And at first I started it as just like a side thing because I was like, you know, like this is just a side thing. I'll find a real job, whatever that meant, but never found one. Just kept modeling. So here I am.
You created one.
Yeah, I created one because yes, it is a career in itself, but yeah, it's interesting, like all the waves that it comes in and just, yeah, it's an interesting industry.
Well, beautiful. Obviously on Instagram, your supporters are loving it.
Yes, my fans.
You go up every time you post.
Thank you.
And I literally go up for you too.
Same as you.
Thank you.
I saw you at the Out Loud Festival.
Yes.
How was that?
Okay, come on, the Torquita podcast.
I keep up.
It was really fun. That was my first time at in LA Pride. And that was specifically the WeHo one, mind you. There was like 1,000 in a week. Oh, wow. But it was really interesting. Long days. You know, got to meet some very entertaining and beautiful people.
Like Saucy Santana. Walking like a dog. No, yes. Like, I was living. I'm a big fan of Saucy Santana. Period. I'm a big City Girls fan. So I just, you don't know, I was doing backflips literally when I saw that. Like, I was like, oh my gosh. Like,
well, next time you got to be there.
Period. Yes. I was a little upset that I missed LA Pride, but, you know, work was calling.
That's right. And we answer.
Period.
But yeah, it was really, really fun, and I can't wait to do more on-site coverage. Was there ever a moment where you felt like misunderstood because of what you do? Like, have you ever been like slut shamed or anything for it?
Oh, slut shamed?
Because you seem very like happy about it. So I love that. But like, what is like the side that you know, encourages your confidence?
Yeah. Well, at first, I obviously was very nervous about it because I'd always be like, what will people think of me? Like, if they know I do this or whatnot. But then I remember like talking to my partner about it, and he has always been so supportive. He actually, like, I remember whenever I wanted to first start nude modeling, I was like, but what will people think of me? And he was like, who gives a fuck what people think of you? Like, fuck that shit. Like, do what you want to do. And I'm like, he's right. Like, you know, like, you don't need to care what people think. But as far as like slut shaming and whatnot, I find I'm very like particular in like the art I create and like what I'm putting out there. So multiple people have like told me, they're like, oh, like I love how you take nudes, but it's so artistic. It's almost elegant or classy. So I just feel like that has kind of helped me not get slut shamed in a say. I hadn't really had any backlash from it. I always thought I would get some, but I noticed the more I just expressed myself and was unafraid, there's a lot less backlash. Or maybe people talk about me behind my back. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But
it doesn't even matter at this point.
Who knows at this point, yeah. But luckily, I've been kind of safe in that aspect because I do, like, when a photographer reaches out to me, I do really look through their portfolio. And, you know, if their images don't align with something that I think would align with my brand or the art that I want to create, I usually don't create with that person. And it's nothing against them. It's just like, personally, I don't know if you could capture me in the way that I would like to be captured.
I love that. So, you have your standards.
Yes, and I'm grateful that I do get to be at a point in my career where I do get to pick and choose, because I do feel like when I first started, I was just, I really needed the money. So I would just, anybody that wanted to work with me, I would work with them. And then sometimes the images I would get back would not be like what I would align with.
Flattering.
Yeah, and I just, and over time you just learn, like, it's less about the money, more about what you're creating. Yeah, what you're producing, the content you're creating. But it's definitely a learning curve.
I love that. So now you've been just blossoming with, you know, just living in your skin.
My truth.
You're even getting recognition from Playboy now.
Yes, which has been like a dream come true.
Shout out to Playboy.
Yes, shout out to Playboy. I sometimes feel like I'm dreaming when it's like that I got the opportunity to work with Playboy. It was so cool. Like, their energy that they bring to set and like how they work, it's amazing. It is so fun because they like to, one thing about Playboy is with their photos, they like to tell a story. So it's like, we did one where I was like rolling a joint, but, you know, like make it super aesthetic, just over the top, just like super groovy. And it's just so fun. I really like Playboy. And
that was a visual?
Yes,
period.
yes, that was the visual. That was one of the visuals. I was like by the pool, and we did it like all Rastafarian.
Love
so
that.
like I was in like green, yellow, red, and just had like big earrings. It was very fun. It was quite a moment, and it was so fun because we were in Mexico. Like I wasn't even rolling real weed. I was rolling dill,
Yeah,
like the
right.
seasoning. We just got a seasoning from the
That's
kitchen,
hilarious.
and we got some papers, and we just pretended. But even that was like very fun. Lately,
Did you smoke it?
No, I did not. No, I did
The
not.
dill weed?
Hell no. No, I did not. But I did have to light it for the picture, but I did not inhale it.
Okay.
I mean, not that it's bad. I mean, I guess you eat
I wonder
it.
what would it have done.
Nothing. Probably nothing.
Just make you hungry.
Just, yeah, I should have for the oral fixation. But,
Okay,
right?
I know that's
Like,
right.
Just to feel something.
It'll get me there.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I really respect Playboy and the brand. And like Hugh Hefner, rest in peace. He was a G. Like he's like the brand that he created and just how it's worldwide and everlasting.
Literally.
Like I want to do something timeless like
A whole
that. Like
legacy.
that's fucking iconic. Like very cool.
Yeah, and even people like Cardi B kind of like trying to pick up the torch, and she introduced Centerfold, which you are also featured on.
I am a Centerfold creator. Check me out at Torquita.
Because there's other like I guess call it competing apps like OnlyFans.
Yes, OnlyFans.
What is the difference? Have you even joined OnlyFans?
I have not. I'm not on OnlyFans. Nothing against it. I just feel like it's a little oversaturated. Like nowadays, you always have to do something. It's like what sets you apart, you know? And for the longest, especially as a nude model, I feel like when you have an OnlyFans, people just write you off as like one of those. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, you do that? Like, it's like, no, I do not. It's like, so it's just one of those. But what I do really like about Centerfold, it's basically just like Instagram, but uncensored. So like a lot of my work, what gets me caught up on Instagram is like, they don't like to see nipple or like butt crack. So you can post that. Yeah, you can post that on Centerfold without risking your account getting deleted or then making you feel like you're harming the community, because that's what Instagram makes you feel like. They're like, you're going against community guidelines. Like you should, hell is hot. Like, and it's like, damn, it's not that serious.
Like if you read the fine print, they're coming for you.
Yeah, they really come for you and they make you feel bad about it. I'm a Cancer though. I'm really sensitive. So like I'm getting my feelings hurt when I get those like this goes against community guidelines. Because for me, they're always like one time I posted a shibari pic, and if you guys don't know what shibari is, it's just rope tying, but it's like pretty. They make like pretty knots or whatever. I just posted a pic of me doing shibari with Midori, and they took it down for sexual solicitation. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, and it's just like, you can't live. If you're too sexy for Instagram, you cannot live. Like, they will not let you live.
I have checked out Centerfold, and it looks like such a clean, sleek app.
Right.
I've considered joining.
You should.
But I haven't yet. Coming soon.
I will say, I feel like my fans wise though, they are always asking like, OnlyFans. Because I guess like, you know, when you already have like your credit card on a payment app or something, like they don't want to switch over to a new one.
Oh, I see what you're
so
saying.
Yeah, like your fans might get mad at you. Like they get mad at me. Like they're always asking me, but I'm like, no. Yeah.
They're like, come to me.
Yeah. It's like, if you want to see it that bad, then you'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, period. I have to know also, what is the funniest thing that has happened on a set? Because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of awkward moments if you're like posing a certain type of way and you have to get critique on it. Like, I don't know, like open your leg a little more, or
no.
You know, like, actually, you know, I have, like something like, has there ever been like a funny awkward moment or just like a funny moment in general?
I have two hilarious stories that have happened recently. So I was working with True Naked Yoga, which is just a yoga brand, and they just have naked instructors. That's just about it. There's a big demand for that apparently. I was being a yoga instructor for True Naked Yoga, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Like I'm butt ass naked outside in Joshua Tree, and there's an instructor. She is not naked as well. But that was my question when I first got there. They were like, there's an instructor. I'm like, is she naked too? But no, the instructor was not naked, just me. And so I'm, you know, out there doing, doing yoga naked in the wilderness, and she's giving me like a routine, and they're filming, and like they do like, one shots. It's like all one shot. So, you can't really, it's filming, so you can't really mess up. As I'm like doing my downward dog, a fly flies on my pussy. No, this fly is on my pussy, and like I can't swat it because they're like doing a take. So like I'm just like, it's like buzzing and it kind of tickles, and I'm like, yo, but I'm like keeping it cool because the cameras are rolling, but I'm just like, hey yo, and but like I kept moving more, and the fly like left, but like in that moment I'm like, yo, and being a nude model goes all wrong, like what the fuck, and I'm just like, no, a fly on my pussy. But I'm like, I didn't even give a consent, but that was one. And then recently, while I was in Mexico, we were shooting on a horse ranch, and mind you, I'm a nude model, and I guess I didn't really think this through because I've always wanted to shoot on a horse. Like, who wouldn't? No, seriously, I always want to shoot on a horse. So like they get the horse for me, and it's like a bare ass horse, no saddle, no like, and I'm naked. I'm like, wait, and I like before I go, I'm like, my pussy is supposed to go on the horse. Like I'm like, yo, and they're like, they're all looking at me like, duh, like you didn't know. I'm like, bitch, I didn't know. And I'm like, did the horse say that's okay? Like I just put my pussy on its back, like bare back, and then they were also
did
like,
you feel like you were violating the horse?
A little bit. I was like, he didn't, like, I was just like, he didn't say I could put the pussy on him. Like, so I don't
But was he hung?
Stop, not the horse. I didn't check, but it was fine. It was actually, I felt like connected to the horse. And it was funny, I was like sending my mom the pictures because my mom is very supportive of me.
It's really
and
hard.
I was like, Mom, like, look at me on the horse. And I was like, I was so scared to ride that horse bareback.
Because I'm really...
Anyway, I was like telling my mom
really
that I rode the horse bareback.
Like my makeup is... Because I'm like, wait, we still recording. Hold on.
Right. No, seriously.
Hold the fuck on.
Right. Because this is, wow. You are funny. I didn't know this is the comedy hour.
We must wrap up.
This is a good episode. I'm so sorry.
I feel like I am just like profusely sweating right now.
No, me too.
Yeah.
No, it was crazy. And I was just
break the girl.
Because it's like, what do you do?
Moving on.
Yes.
I have to ask, are there any encouraging words that you'd like to give emerging content creators in the fine arts realm of it all?
The advice that I would like to give is create into your heart's content. Don't really worry about how you think it will be received. Just create your content and plant those seeds, aka post it, and just watch it flourish like over time. Like when you plant a seed, it takes about 8 weeks for it to germinate,
Sprout,
like a real actual seed. It takes about 8 weeks or so. So that's the advice I like to give to you, and I like to give to others and myself whenever like I'm working on something creative. Like the thought of it is that seed, and I just have to fertilize that seed. I have to water it. I have to plant it, and watch it grow, watch it blossom.
I love that. Anything else you'd like to add to your resume or future endeavors that you'd like to share or manifest?
Oh, there are so many. Are you kidding?
Just give us one.
You have 10. Yeah, I'm like, you got 30 more minutes
right
for
now.
this podcast. One that is on my heart right now. I really want to be certified to be a therapist. Not that I would be an actual therapist, but I wouldn't mind being a therapist for my friends and family.
Any specific type?
Probably family therapy because that's what affects me the most. But yeah, like I do want to go back to school for psychology. Also, another thing, I feel like when I'm 30, I might have a DJing phase.
Okay.
Yeah, like I like music. And I just think...
Okay, mind you.
I feel like girl DJs are so hot. And just like, I don't know, imagine me like bouncing my booty like to the beat. Like I could turn around and I'd be like... like it's
okay.
I think that would be fun, but yeah.
Period. Well, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing all your beautiful stories and experiences with me.
It's been a blast. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me stand on my soapbox.
And don't ever come down.
Period.
Definitely check out Torquita's work. Get into it. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a wrap, you guys. Thank you for watching.
Ciao for now.